I'll be with you in 2 ticks. Gromit!
So in the lead up to the new film, Wallace and Gromit are everywhere on the telly at the minute.
Like being intimidated by Wallace and Gromit.
Oh, yeah. Wallace and Gromit, is it?
Cheese.
And the most recent appearance is on none other than Strictly Come Dancing. So this isn't something I'd ever imagined I'd be reading out loud on the channel, but Strictly Come Dancing, commonly referred to as Strictly, is a British dance contest show in which celebrities partner with professional dancers to compete against each other, and each couple is scored by a panel of judges. The public are then invited to vote for their favourite couple, and it's at this point that last night on BBC One, which happens to be the semi-final, Wallace and Gromit made a surprise appearance to read the terms and conditions. Now, as trivial as this seems, it's actually quite a big deal. This show is massive in the UK and therefore has a lot of viewers that will have been watching it, and they've reacted really positively to Wallace and Gromit.
Voting won't open until all our couples have danced. Don't call yet, as your vote won't count.
Director of Vengeance Most Foul, Merlin Crossingham, happened to be in the audience, which he described as an absolutely marvellous experience. But yeah, this segment comes in the form of yet another original animation from Aardman, so they're killing it at the minute. We've had the short that was shot on an iPhone being projected on the Battersea Power Station in London, and there was an exclusive clip done just for the Radio Times cover, as well as all of the BBC One idents, and now this animated segment on Strictly, which is probably the most extensive of them all. For one, we get to hear lots of dialogue from Wallace, which is something we haven't previously really heard in the promotion of the film. So yeah, let's go through it and break it down. So the cameo appearance arises when the presenter, Claudia Winkleman, turns to the camera and says,
"This is singularly the best thing that's ever happened to me. Please welcome Wallace and Gromit."
This also came as a complete surprise to anyone that didn't know about it. It was a very well kept secret. But yeah, we just cut to an animated segment of Wallace and Gromit, so let's take a look. Wallace is humming the Strictly Come Dancing theme, which many British audience members will probably recognise. So first of all, you've got Wallace, which instantly reminded us of the N-Power adverts, the only time we see Wallace taking a shower, and it's implied we'll see the full bathroom set in the new film, so I suppose that's kind of a teaser for that. So Wallace is late for the segment as he's still in the shower, so when he realises that he's on air, he quickly summons Gromit.
I'll be with you in 2 ticks. Gromit!
We then cut to the living room, which you can see in the background with the pictures of cheese and stuff, but it's been done up with the kind of Strictly set design. And what this immediately reminded us of is Wallace and Gromit's World of Invention, which is that one TV series that they did back in 2010. This is the exact same attire that Gromit had in that show, complete with the headphones not actually being on his ears. Also, just the set and the still camera setup is very reminiscent of that show. So we've got the background, the disco ball, Wallace's empty chair, and a mug on the desk, and that has Cup O Cha 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 written on it, which is a type of dance regularly featured on the show. Wallace then shouts down to Gromit,
"You'll have to cover for me, lad."
And of course, since the job is reading the terms and conditions, Gromit has no way of doing this. So we get this quick glare from Gromit as if to say, "You are joking." Luckily, Wallace had a practice tape prepared, and it begins to play Wallace's reading of the terms and conditions.
Calls to the short number from a mobile cost 15p. Calls to the long number cost 15p plus your network's access charge.
I've just realised this also works as a very clever way of not having to animate Wallace's mouth through the entire segment, and it actually makes the appearance a lot more interesting anyway. I love Gromit's awkward reactions while the tape is playing, it's amazing. And then he promptly turns around a signed photo from Claudia Winkleman, which is on the desk there, and that gets a bit of a laugh from the audience. Once dressed, Wallace finally appears in person to present the final part of the terms and conditions.
Scan the QR code on screen now. Or go to our website to sign in or register for your BBC account.
The first thing you might notice is that he's wearing a comically large bow tie, and this is a nice nod to the creator of Wallace and Gromit, Nick Park, who himself wore such a bow tie made out of wrapping paper to the Oscars, which was described as a travesty of taste, and it's become kind of a tradition ever since. Wallace's chair collapses despite all of this effort, prompting Gromit to appear with a paddle like the judges use on the show. Score on Wallace's attempt is 7.
Get ready to vote online. Oh, best of luck to all the couples.
We then cut back to the studio where Winkleman tells everyone that Vengeance Most Foul is coming out on Christmas Day. So this is an excellent bit of promotion for the film that certainly caught the attention of the public. There's been so much praise for this short appearance and it's made news headlines and is all over social media, so let's have a look at some comments. Whoever they've cast to do the late great Peter Sallis's voice as Wallace is absolutely extraordinary. I think personally this is the best thing you could possibly want to hear, largely because a lot of fans weren't sure if Wallace and Gromit could continue after Peter Sallis passed. We all know that Ben has gotten really good at doing the voice, and then to have people actually praising it. Like, remember when Kermit the Frog appeared on The Masked Singer and there were hundreds of comments saying, who was voicing Kermit? What is that Kermit voice? And this hasn't happened here because it's actually a good impression. BBC Strictly Come Dancing fans go wild for Wallace and Gromit's iconic cameo during semi-final. Other comments featured in some news articles include Wallace and Gromit doing terms and conditions, possibly the best thing I've ever seen. #Strictly. Wallace and Gromit doing the terms and conditions is actually iconic. I fear they should do it every week. I am obsessed with Wallace and Gromit doing the terms and conditions. Roll on Christmas Day. How lovely to see Wallace and Gromit on Strictly Come Dancing. I'd like to draw attention to the fact as well that I don't think animated characters have ever presented this before, which brings us back to Cam Garrity's The Power of Puppetry thing, which basically points out that usually with animated films you have the celebrities that played those characters appearing on the show, whereas with the likes of the Muppets they are implied to exist within our world. So you get stuff like Kermit appearing on talk shows, and similarly Wallace and Gromit do it here. I mean, they are technically puppets, but it's still animation, and it just goes to show the level of kind of respect that they've got amongst the British public, because I don't know how many animated characters you could stick on a show like Strictly and have people genuinely over the moon to the point the presenters are gushing about it. So yeah, the promotion for the new film has ramped up and all of a sudden Wallace and Gromit are everywhere on TV this Christmas. But this cameo in particular has really kind of hit the mainstream news. You can tell a lot of work goes into each and every one of these, and most importantly, people are really enjoying it. So thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you very soon, depending on when Wallace and Gromit decide to pop up next.